So here we are, the next review, getting ready for the next quiz, and I hope that you get some notes on here. Because otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. In fact, in the middle of this video, between number 5 and number 6 somewhere, I'm going to say something crazy. And you have to repeat it and write it somewhere in your paper, okay? Alright, so here we go. Just like last week, the last quiz, we started with decimals, and we had decimals again. However, this time it is subtraction. Last week was multiplication. Now, subtraction is different because you have to line up the place values. So the 4 is in the ones place. You have an 8.8, which is in the tenths place. The 3 is in the ones place. The 2 is in the tenths place. And the 5 is in the hundredths place. We set it up that way. Decimals are lined up, so you're ready to drop it straight down. Now, you notice here that we have the biggest mistake that I see kids do in this case is 0 minus 5 is 5. You can't do that. You have nothing here, so you're going to have to borrow. So this 0 becomes a 10, the 8 becomes a 7, and we're good to go. 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 2 is 5. Drop down the decimal, and we have a 7. So 7.55 is that answer. So what is the biggest mistake? That is something that I want you to know. For my lovely note takers. So if you didn't catch that, what is the biggest mistake that kids make in this kind of math problem? Alright, here we go. Number 2. Number 2 is just like last week's math problem. It is multiplication. In this case, we do not line up place value. So 6.95. And we multiply that by 0.8. And I do not use that 0 because 0 means nothing, and I just don't want to waste my time with a 0. So 5 times 8 is 40. 9 times 8 is 72 plus 4 more. Here's a little trick. 4 more, so 73, 74, 75, 76. And 6 times 8 is 48. And 48 plus 7 more is 55. Now, last week's quiz, people drop the decimal place down. There's all kinds of crazy places. We have count over once, twice. We count over twice here. We count over 1 time there. We count over 3 times then, because 2 plus 1 is 3. So 1, 2, 3. So the final answer should be 5 and 56 hundredths, or 5 and 560 thousandths. And if you're at home doing these things, you can always bust out a calculator. You can't use a calculator in the quiz, so you have to know how to do it. But you can't go ahead and check yourself. So 6.95 multiplied by 0.8. And you should get the exact same thing. Oh no, we don't have a 0. I must be wrong. No, I'm not. That 0 doesn't count. Same thing. Okay, there we go. So next one is division, and this is a review. So to move this, to get rid of these decimals, I have to move it over to make a whole number. And then I move this one over once, so I have to move that one over 1 time. So now this becomes 2 goes into 25.7. So if I move it over once here, I have to move it over once there. So if I move it once there, I move it once here. There you go. Just like that. And now you're ready to go ahead and divide it. So now we're left with this right here. So if I move it here, I move it there, I'm left with this. And how many times is 2 going to 2? Well, that's once, and that is 1 times 2 is 2. That is 2 minus 2 is 0. Bring down the 5. If I bring down, I have to divide. 2 goes into 5. How many times? 2. 2 goes into 5. How many times? 2. Yes, 2 is correct. And 2 times 2 is? 4. And now I subtract it. 5 minus 4 is? 1. And then I bring down the? 7. Now I have 2 goes into 17. How many times? I think it's 8 times. I think it's 8. 8 times 2 is 16. There we go. add a 0. What do I do with that 0? There we go. And I'm not going to finish it. You can finish it. Huh. Are we good here? Are we all good? Okay, cool beans. So I didn't mention this. I have to bring the decimal straight up. So there it is. I should have left it as 128 and something, but I'm not going to. So hopefully you know what that something is. All right. The next math problem deserves some attention. So I want you to pause the video right now and read it. And I'm going to pause it too and take a little break and get some water. So I'm back, and I'm going to look at number 4 more closely. There it is, number 4. Filled up the whole screen. And so it says, Jake walks to town every 5th day. Get that ladybug out of the way. Somebody get an exterminator, please. Okay, go away, ladybug. All right, here we go. 5th day. Sam rides his bike to town every 4th day. What is the first day they are likely to meet in town? So, well, one of them is yours counting by 5s, and the other one's counting by 4s. So you could draw a calendar if you want to. I mean, nobody does anything the first day, the second day, the third day, the 4th day. One of them rides their bike, and then the 5th day, one of them walks. So Jake does the 5th day. So he's going to go to town the 5th day. He's going to go to town the 10th day. And he's not going to go to 11th, 12th, 13th, but 14th. But he'll go the 15th day. And then he'll go the... What's the next day he'll go?
20.
The 20th day. And then the 25th day. And then the 30th day. I know it's a lot. It is a lot. Now Sam, he doesn't have the same pattern. No, he always goes the 4th day. So it seems like maybe on Thursdays he goes. So he's going to go the 4th day. And then he's going to go the 8th day. And then he's going to go the 12th day. And they have nothing in common right there. The 16th day. The 20th day. And the 24th. The 28th. You get the pattern. So what day are they going to meet, more than likely? What do they have in common? I think the 20th day is when they would meet. And if you don't recall, those are the multiples. Those are the multiples of 5 and 4. And the least common multiple they have is 20. So that would be the LCM, the least common multiple. That was one of those vocabulary words that a lot of people missed last week. So sad. So sad. Anyway, I'm over it. Number 5. Here we go. It says, find the greatest common factor for 16, 18, and 30. And we've been kind of playing with factors a little bit in class. So I'm just going to write out my numbers. Let's write them over here. Let's do 16. That's a gargantuan thumbnail in the way. 18, and then we have a 30. So factors are numbers that you multiply together to get a product. So you got to treat these each as a product, and a factor times a factor equals a product. In fact, I wrote that down last week on the quiz, and people didn't seem to have it. So a factor times a factor is a product. So here we go. So we have 1 times what is 16? Well, that's 1 times 16. I'll put it over here. And 2 times something is 16. What is it? 2 times what? 2 times 8 is 16. Perfect. And then 3 can't go into 16. How about 4? Yep, 4 goes into 16 4 times. So 4 times 4 is 16. 5 can't go, 6 can't go, 7, 8 goes. We are good. These are all the factors of 16. The factors of 18 are a little bit different. It's going to be 1 and 18. So 1 times 18 is 18. What about 2 times? 2 times what is 18? 2 times 9. Beautiful. I know that 3 can go in 18. And 3 times, no, it's not 4. 3 times 5 is 15. What about 3 times 6? I think 3 times 6 is 18. 4 can't go in, 5 can't, 6 is 3 times, 7 no. There we go. These are all the factors of 18. And finally, the factors of 30. This is a great way to practice your math facts, by the way. So it's going to be 1 times what is 30? Of course, that's 1 times 30. And then 2 times 15. And 3 times 10. What about 4? 4. No. How about 5? Yep. 5 times what is 30? It's 6. I think those are all the factors of 30. So what's the greatest common factor that they have? Looks like it's going to be, well, I wish it was a 3. Might be the 2. 4? No. Does it have 4 8s? No. 16? No. Looks like it's just going to be 2. 2 is the greatest common number that they have. Unless, of course, you find a mistake. You find a number that they have in common that I don't see. They have a 3 here, but not all 3 of them. Alright? Cool beans. So that's how you find the greatest common factor. Alright. The next one. Number 6. Number 6 is straight up easy peasy 5th grade math. We have 1 0. That means we have a multiplication sign. We move that decimal place over 1 time. So this is 34.5. Yeah, do this one. Go ahead and try the next 2 on your own. Okay, what I really meant to say was do the next one on your own. So I think I have, and so is Sam here. He has 0.0345, and I think I confirm with that because when you divide, the decimal goes to the left. You have 2 zeros, so once, twice, add a 0, decimal's there, and bingo, we have it. Number 7. Look at this beautiful beast. This is the same thing as last week. We talked about please excuse my dear Aunt, who was that? Aunt Susan. So this is the order of operations. So we have to do parentheses first, and I don't see any parentheses. Exponents, I see exponents. This becomes 2 times 2, which is 4. And 4 times 2 is 8, so this becomes an 8. Bring down my plus sign. Bring down my everything else. Minus. And what's 3 times 3? 9. It's 9. There we go. 9. So now we got rid of our exponent, so we're good there. Do we have any multiplication or division in here? Sure we do. It's right here. It's 4 times 5. So keep my 8. 4 times 8. Sorry, 4 times 5 becomes 20. Bring down my subtraction sign on my 9. And now I have addition and subtraction. Yep, it's going to be now. What happens there? We have addition and subtraction. We just work it left to right. We don't do any of these things first. Just go left to right. So now we have 28, and 28 minus 9, I believe, is 19. So the answer is going to be 19. So remember to make sure you do that order of operations. If you did anything else before the exponents, chances are you're going to get that puppy wrong. Alright? Number 8. Shane brought 1/2 gallon of water to the soccer game. He drank 3/4 of his water. How much water did he drink? So he drank 3/4 of his water. He had a 1/2 gallon. So that is 3/4 of 1/2. That's a 5th grade math problem. So we know that's 3/4 of means times 1/2. That's a gallon. So 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. That's it. He drank 3/8 of a gallon of water. Number 9. There's 3 beautiful words. There's also that crazy rap song. It is stay, change, and flip. So that's 1/4. Change that to a multiplication sign and flip that like a pancake. And there we go. So this becomes 4/12. And this is something that happened last week. A lot of kids weren't simplifying these math problems. They got this one wrong. What goes into 4 and 12 evenly? Yep, it's 4. So divide top and bottom by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the final answer is third. He drank a third of a gallon. Oh no, I'm back on that one. Sorry, it's not a third of a gallon. I'm losing my mind. There you go. Remember these things. Stay, change, RECIPROCAL. Just flip it. You have to flip that 3/4 into 4/3 because some of you would have had 3/1 if you didn't flip it. That's wrong, my friends. Very wrong. All right, here we go. Last one of the review. How do we change fractions into decimals? We've done this. We have. I'd pause the video and see if you can't remember how to do it. But let's talk about it. The first one is in the tenth spot. We know place value. So tenths is right here after the decimal tenths. So that's 1.1. Done. That's just based off place value. Hopefully you remember that. 3/4, well, that's a little bit different. There's a couple ways you can solve that. I could think that this is going to be 3/4, and we have to change it to place value, so 100, so the 100th spot. You can multiply this and get that, and when you multiply towards the bottom, you get to the top. So this would be times 25. And if you do that to the bottom, we have to do it to the top. And 3 times 25 is 75, and 75 hundredths is 0.75 because the 5 ends up in the hundredths place. Or if you don't like that, you can actually divide it, because we talk a lot about how fractions are division problems. So 3/4 becomes 4 into 3. You can't do that, so we have to add a decimal, and we add a 0. Can 4 go into 30/10? Sure it can, 7 times. Because 7 times 4 is 28. Subtract that, you got 2, add a 0, bring that puppy down. And then you have 4 goes into 20. That's 5 times. You get the same thing. So I hope that for the quiz you're prepared for 2 ways of doing this. Because, yeah, you probably should know it. So know 2 ways. That's right. Now, maybe have to be 3 ways with a model also. Could do that, but let's not go there yet. Alright, so that concludes the review of week 11. We're going backwards in time. That's okay, though. Alright, hope that helps you. I hope that prepares you for some studying. And I hope that you already started working on 11B, just that so you're ready. Alright, farewell, so long. I will see you later.